Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys give update on George Pickens in receiver room hierarchy. The Dallas Cowboys signing of George Pickens came, like everything the Cowboys do, with a healthy dose of controversy after the team gave up a third-round pick in 2026 to acquire the former Steelers' services. And despite questions coming about concerning how he will fit into the locker room amidst some character concerns from sources around the league, it seems the Cowboys are more than pleased with their recent transaction. After Pickens noted that he does not see himself as the number 2, or indeed 1B receiver in Dallas offense opposite All-Pro, CeeDee Lamb, preferring to view himself as Lamb's equal on the opposite side of the field, some eyebrows were raised. Yet, this is a sentiment echoed by Cowboys SVP and son of owner, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, who apparently views Pickens as a WR1, not a number 2. He's just a dynamic receiver, Jones said, per Albert Breer. Everybody says we're looking for a wide receiver, too. I mean, George can be a 1. He's got that type of talent. He's got unbelievable ball tracking ability. He's got plenty of juice and he's a fiery competitor. And we love that, he plays with an edge, and we think he'd be a good fit for our team. Alongside seeing Pickens as a WR1 and feeling comfortable with his character and background, with Breer noting that the team did their homework and research on the 24-year-old prior to sending next year's third round to Pittsburgh, Jones revealed there was a secondary reason they wanted to continue bulking up the passing game, to strengthen the run game. My biggest thing that I'm hearing is a bigger commitment from the get-go to the running game, Jones vocalized, via Breer. And what we did in drafting Booker, obviously we are, and we've been putting our money into it, too, putting our resources, first round, into the offensive line. And then paying CeeDee and getting George. It's a big commitment there, but the biggest thing is I see us really wanting to come out and establish a strong running game from the start. The drafting of road grader, Tyler Booker, makes perfect sense with regard to Dallas' stated motif of enhancing the team's rushing attack that ranked 27th in the NFL in 2024. However, unless new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, sees Pickens' primary utility on offense coming from his blocking capabilities or snaps from the Wildcat, Pickens won't be contributing directly to the run game. But Jones' more overarching point probably referred to the age-old adage that the passing game helps the run game, and run game helps the passing game. Having a lethal downfield passing game will help move safeties out of the box and linebackers off the field as teams turn to more nickel, dime and even dollar, 7 defensive backs on the field at once, defensive packages. With Pickens on one side and Lamb on the other, it is hard not to see how defensive coordinators and secondary coaches will need to approach the Cowboys with distinct caution coming into 2025. But will Dallas' seemingly underwhelming running back group that currently consists of Javonte Williams, rookie Jaden Blue, and former Panther, Miles Sanders, be strong enough to take full advantage of potentially very favorable defensive looks next season? Former Cowboys WR already regrets joining new team after sudden retirement. The Dallas Cowboys said goodbye to several veteran players when NFL free agency opened in March, including veteran wideout Brandon Cooks. The 31-year-old wide receiver left the Lone Star State after 2 seasons to join the New Orleans Saints on a 2-year, $13 million contract, returning to the franchise that drafted him over a decade ago. While homecomings can benefit some players in need of a fresh start, Cook's return to New Orleans just took a turn for the worse following Saturday's news. On Saturday, Saints quarterback Derek Carr announced his retirement after 11 NFL seasons. Even though the 34-year-old signal caller played well since moving to New Orleans a few years ago, recent injuries are preventing his career from continuing, leaving the Saints, and Cooks, without a QB1. It isn't hard to figure out why Cooks wanted to join the Saints, other than the homecoming aspect. Carr's recent performance likely factored into the ex-Cowboys WR's decision, especially after the former Fresno State Bulldog completed 68.2% of passes for 6,023 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, to 13 interceptions, and a 98.8 passer rating in 27 starts with New Orleans. Now, the Saints are left with a massive question mark under center that will hinder Cooks and the rest of the WR room's production. Former 2024 150th overall pick Spencer Rattler certainly didn't look like a starting QB last season. The 24-year-old gunslinger led the Saints to a 0-6 record in 6 starts last year, finishing with a 57% completion percentage, 1,317 passing yards, 4 TDs to 5 INTs, and a 70.4 passer rating along the way. Next up on the depth chart is Jake Haener, whose upside isn't any better. The ex-2023 fourth-rounder started against the Washington Commanders in Week 15 but was pulled and replaced by Rattler after going 4 of 10 for 49 yards and an INT, proving that Haener certainly isn't ready for the spotlight either. That leaves the Saints likely starting 2025 second-round pick Tyler Shaw in Week 1. The 26-year-old rookie is fresh off a breakout campaign with the Louisville Cardinals, leaving it up to him to prove if he's an NFL-caliber starter once organized team activities, OTAs, and training camp begin. No matter who the Saints end up starting, it's clear that Cooks will have an uphill battle to return to form. The ex-Cowboys playmaker's production declined as injuries mounted during his time in Dallas, culminating in an 80-9-16-11 stat line in 26 games across the last 2 seasons. The Saints were already a work in progress, and that moniker is even more true following Carr's surprise retirement. It's now up to Cooks and New Orleans' other wideouts to help make the next QB1's job as easy as possible, even if that wasn't what the ex-Cowboys WR expected when he put pen to paper. Lions' $22 million starter named prime trade target for Cowboys. DJ Reader is entering the second year of the 2-year, $22 million deal he signed with the Detroit Lions in free agency last year. Reader started 15 games for Detroit last season and finished with 23 total tackles, 4 for loss, 3.0 sacks, a career high, 6 QB hits and 11 hurries. Mason Cameron of Pro Football Focus named one last offseason move every NFC squad should still make, and for the Dallas Cowboys, he listed signing or trading for a run-stuffing interior defender. Cameron's suggestion? He believes the Cowboys should trade for Reader. Although Dallas signed Solomon Thomas in free agency, that doesn't profile as the answer to the Cowboys' 30th-ranked run defense grade, 48.0, Cameron wrote on May 9, adding, Dallas hasn't been afraid to leverage future draft capital this offseason and should consider monitoring another opportunity. The Lions' DJ Reader has been considered a cut candidate and could fit in nicely with the Cowboys, whether through a trade or a post-release signing. Reader boasts a 91st percentile PFF run defense grade over the past 3 seasons. If the Lions were open to trading Reader, it's not like they could command a haul in return. A day 3 pick would very likely do it. Reader is still valuable, but he turns 31 in July and that won't help his trade stock. That said, Detroit likely values Reader too much to part with him at all. If Dallas is willing to take on the remainder of his contract, he has a cap hit just under $13 million in 2025, he could be a definite asset for the Cowboys, who could still decide to give the Lions a ring. New Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus's 4-3 defense relies heavily on generating turnovers and stopping the run, which aligns well with Reader's skill set. The veteran DT's ability to clog running lanes while also applying interior pressure could free up Dallas linebackers and edge rushers more. Imagine if Micah Parsons gets a big assist from the interior? Look out. Reader was selected by the Houston Texans in the 5th round of the 2016 draft. After 4 seasons in Houston, where he developed into a formidable run stopper, Reader signed with the Cincinnati Bengals in 2020. During his tenure with the Bengals, he became a cornerstone of their defensive front, earning accolades for his consistent play and leadership. And you, fan? What do you think about DJ Reader's situation? Write in the comments.